Did you guys get your notification? We're live streaming. Da 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 da. You guys get your notification? We're live streaming. Da, da, da. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Sunday Ukulele. I say cheers to Sunday, smoky or not. I'm thrilled you guys are here with me. Just thrilled. And today we're going to focus exclusively on Vie En Rose and techniques that we'll use with that song. Now, keep in mind that this is just an arrangement that I've developed for myself. It doesn't mean that this is the be-all and end-all of ways to play the song. I'm just presenting it to you the way I like to play it. That's all. I've got fresh coffee here. I feel like I'm pretty good to go. If you have a question, what I would ask that you do, just because we've got a lot of material to cover, maybe make note of your question and I'll stop along the way and then I'll take questions. And then that way we'll be totally organized. Now I will, for my friends that are watching on YouTube, I'm just going to copy the link for Zoom in case you want to join me. There we go. All right. So what we're going to do to start off with, I've actually done up a sheet of all the chords that I use in Vie En Rose. And that way we can analyze the song before we even play it. So we need to warm up our fingers first though. Now this song, the arrangement I have is in the key of C. So let's play the C major scale. We'll move our fingers across the fretboard this way with our C major scale and just leave it like that, okay? So let's do it so that we're plucking, let's play each note twice. So we'll do our third string open. I'll count us in. 1, oh, hang on here, I just gotta let in another friend. There we go. 1, 2, ready, go. C, C, second fret, second string open, first fret now, third fret, first string open, second fret, third fret, back down to 2, now open, third fret, first fret on that second string, and then open, second fret on the third string, and then open. And we're going to do it again. Just hang out with me and pluck your thumb like this. I'll count to 4 and we'll play the scale again. 2 notes per. Shirley, I hope you feel better soon. Ear pain is not nice.
It's not sore, it's just plugged.
Oh, not sore, just plugged? Oh, well,
and
that's
can't figure out why, but anyway, I'm trying stuff.
I blame it on the smoke. That's what I blame it on. Here we go. Ready? I'll count to 4. We'll play again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Third string open twice. Now second fret, second string, first fret on that second string, third fret, first string open, second fret, third fret, back down to 2, open, okay, second string, third fret, first fret, open, second fret on the third string, open. Now we're going to be dealing with all sorts of chords next. So when I'm doing this, your hands might get a little bit tense feeling because we'll be doing a lot of different chords. If you find that happening, what I want you to do is, see if I can turn to the side and do this. And you guys might do this already, but hands straight out, right? Make a fist. Shake it out. That can feel really good. Depends on how your hands are though, right? I mean, this feels good for me. And gentle stretches like this. Especially with some of the chords that we're going to be doing higher up are bar chords. We're going to be approaching those today. So just be gentle with your hands. I don't stretch real hard, just gentle, okay, when I'm doing this sort of stuff. I do a lot of this ever since I went to that guitar workshop. I do a lot of these sorts of things too, where I'm rubbing the heels of my hands and my fingertips. Oh, it feels so good, you know, and I think it's because I take care of my wrists, you know, and think about all that, but I forget about my fingertips, which are always working so hard on my fretboard. So this feels pretty good. It's just like a little tiny massage. I just rub back and forth. Oh, it feels good. Now I'm just going to peek in on my... So for my folks that are watching the live stream, I'm going to keep taking a look at the chat, but I will be sharing chords as I go. So it's going to be a little bit of back and forth for me. Now, I do have the sheets on my website, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to show you the chords. Don't worry about looking at anything. We'll just go through it together, okay? And I just got to move my stand over here so I can make sure that I've got my chords lined up right. Okay, the first chord we're going to use in the song is C, which is handy. So just the classic open C, 3rd fret on the 1st string. So just strum it with me, you know, we'll just go through it one at a time. So we've got C, and then we've got the lovely color of going down to C major 7. When you look at that one, you'll see a C with a capital M next to it, and then a 7. It's lush. I love major 7 chords. And then to a C6, which is, oh, my favorite, all opens. Oh, nice and easy. C6 and A minor 7 are the same chord shape. So sometimes you'll see it called A minor 7, sometimes C6. Just say to yourself, these chords are chameleons. They can have different names. From there, what I want you to do is make your G7 chord and then take your ring finger off. Okay, so in terms of numbers, it's 4th string open, 2 on your 3rd string, 1 on your 2nd string, and 1st string open. O, 2, 1, O, which is a D minor / G. And I want to talk about that / G, okay? When you have a slash chord, the letter name that comes after the slash just tells you the bass note, the lowest note they want you to play, okay? So in this case, D minor / G. Now I do have that written. I'll show you my sheet, and this is the same sheet that's on my website, but you'll see right here, see where it says D minor / G? And then there's a little arrow there going to the 4th string. That's what that's talking about. It's just telling you that, okay? So I'm keeping that away for the most part so that we just focus on our sounds and fingerings. The next chord we're going to do is a G, okay? So O, 2, 3, 2. Okay. Then after that, we've got kind of a mean chord, but I'm going to show you how I like to play it, and then we'll talk about different fingerings. All right, so this is a special G7. I always have these special chords. So I anchor my baby finger up from the 5th fret. And then I stretch my first finger back to that 1st fret on the 2nd string. And then I put my middle finger here on 3rd string, 2nd fret. If you can make it, it sounds so cool. And if you say to yourself, I can't do that, that's insane stretching, let me show you the alternative, okay? And there's a bunch of different voicings, but look at this. See how the shape kind of looks like the G7 down on the 1st fret, but it's stretched out. There's a fret in between those fingers. So fingering could be O, 5, 3, 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep my hand close to the screen so you can take a look at that. O, 5, 3, 5. Or my crazy O215. I love the sound of that one. I don't know how I can even stretch there, but I just love it. I know how I can. I plant my weakest finger first, and then I stretch back with my strong fingers. Okay, so those are 2 options there. There's another one, and I do have a couple of these options written down on my chord sheet. This one's pretty nice. So 0535. Or if you say to yourself, well, I want to do something with my middle finger. Look where I put it. The 4th fret of string 4. So then I went, I'll turn it back up this way and keep it the same so it looks like a chord chart. 4, 5, 3, 5. These shapes used to just freak me out, you guys. But find common ground. You take that guy off. Then you can see, I'm going to give you more of a visual here. I'm going to go down. Here's my regular G7 shape, but I'm making it without my middle finger. I've slid it up to my 3rd fret. Now what should I do? See how I move these guys up? So you can see that there's some common shapes, right? It's still this triangle shape, but just on a different fret. Okay. So now I'm going to move on. Now we're going to have a normal G7. Just keep in mind, you guys are going to get this chord chart. D minor / G looks like a G7 without the ring finger. So what I'm hoping you're going to be doing right now is watching your fingers, looking at the shape, listening to the sound as we make these amazing lush chords. A minor 7, same as C6. When I play this song, I feel like there's stars in the sky every time I play it. I love it. Back to C. C major 7. C6. And you can just follow right along with my hands for this. Now we're going to make the special F. Some of you know the special F. I make my F chord. I don't think any chord chart would call it the special F, but I like to call it the special F. F. Then I put my finger on the 3rd fret of string 1. So F with my baby finger on fret 3, string 1. Doesn't that sound cool? Oh. Hold my finger up close, my fingers up close to the screen. There, my ring finger's out of the way now. So just like that. Okay. So those are the open chords. The first couple bars, or sorry, the first couple lines of Vie En Rose have those chords in there in that order. Okay. So at this point, I'm just going to show you the sheet. And I'm going to show it to you on the screen too, but at this point, we're going to be down here. Okay. Now we're going to do bar chords. Okay, but they're going to be the easiest bar chords. We're just going to go straight across the 5th fret. Okay. Checklist for bar chords. Okay. Here's things I think about when I make a bar chord, if you're not sure about them. Okay. When I'm going to drop my arm and I'm going to bring it up to the 5th fret. My hand naturally is on an angle because I'm a human being and not a machine, right? That's just the way it goes. So I've got my finger, pointer finger anchored on this side here on the 4th string, tuck my elbow in, apply pressure as I pivot my finger close to the fret. I check and I make sure that my finger creases are not on top of the strings, okay? Where those creases are, I don't want them on top of the strings. So I've got my finger so close to the fret, it looks like it's on top. It's not. It's just rolled right up behind it. Okay. And I strum all my strings. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. So then I adjust if it doesn't. I think about my thumb placement, right? It's kind of like a clothes peg. Now, if you can do that on that 5th fret, then what I want you to do is go on up to the 7th fret. Okay, this is a D minor 7. It's named after that 1st string, fret 5. That's a D, so D minor 7. If you can play D minor 7, then you can go up to your 7th fret, and you might have to do everything again, kind of set it up again. I've got my fingers like that, not because I normally play like that, but just to show you the shape I'm doing so it's easy to see. So don't do the wing like I'm doing right now. I'll try to stop that. Okay, here's our E minor 7 on the 7th fret. Sounds so lush. Okay, so we've got those two. Head on back down to that weird G7, whichever shape you want. 0215 or 0535, whichever one makes sense for you. Okay, and back home to C. C major 7, C6, D minor / G. So it looks like a G7 without your ring finger, right? 0210. Okay. Now a G7, just the regular G7, nothing fancy. C. Okay, those are our chords. Now I'm going to share the chord chart, and what I'm going to do after I've shared that chord chart is I'm going to have some coffee and wait for questions from you guys, because this is a good time to do that once I've there. Can everyone see that chord chart there? Yeah, okay. So if you don't have questions, what I'll ask you to do is just go through and strum each chord. Take your time.
I have a question, Tina.
Yeah, Shirley?
It's about formatting. This ends up on 2 pages on in my Dropbox, and I'm missing the line that starts with D minor. Right? I don't know if you can see this, but this is what I get. It's huge.
Oh, that's
mine printed out weird too.
Okay, I wondered if
I ended up doing a screenshot instead so I could put it in a photograph.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, because it didn't PDF well. It only, like you said, half of it got cut off.
I wonder, I might not have actually done it as a PDF. I might have done it as a JPEG.
It's a JPEG. It is a JPEG.
Sorry, guys. Oh, there's always something. I need someone to be all like, Tina, you forgot to move, you know. Okay, so I'll do it again as a PDF after this is done, so you guys have a proper version. Thank you.
And I have a question just as a reference. When you put a star, like the F has a star, that means special whenever you do something like that?
Oh yeah, there's something where you have to stretch your fingers. If you've got an asterisk next to a chord, it's a slightly different voicing. Yeah. And this one, the special F, oh, I love it so much. Do we have another one? Oh, yep.
One more thing on your G7 on the second line, you've marked the 4th fret instead of the 5th fret.
That's the baby finger.
Oh, 4
It's
for
the
the
5th fret,
finger?
yeah.
Okay, not the fret?
No. Yeah,
Okay.
that's where this is perfect for clarifying things, you guys. Okay. This is awesome. Yeah, that's because it's such a big stretch. It looks almost like I've put a dot there for no reason, right? Now, those alternative fingerings I was talking about for the G7, I want you to go look at the end of line 4. Okay, so that's that same G7 shape. And then underneath that chord chart, I wrote or. And there's some alternatives there. Now this one looks like kind of like a weird mess, right? But if you take a look, so the chord shape I'm looking at is at the end of line 5. And do you see my little mouse arrow thing going around there? Okay, right where it says 3 with an arrow, that means the 3rd fret. Okay, so that's where, if we take a look at that main triangular shape with the fingers 1, 3, and 4, you can see it looks a lot like a G7, but there's a fret in between, right? So there's still that triangular, that familiar triangular shape. I say that because there's all these different voicings for chords, and you choose what works for you. And if you say to yourself, okay, that G7 where you've got that crazy stretch that I like to use, if that doesn't work, don't use it. If the other one with this triangular shape, if that one works, use it. If you say to yourself, you know what, I don't really care for either one of those, but I can play on the 5th fret of the 1st string and the 4th string open, that works too. Okay, so you find what works for you. Maybe you play fret 5 on the 1st string and fret 3 on the 2nd string, and you pluck them with 2 fingers and you play your 3rd string open with your thumb. Well, possibilities are endless, you guys. Whoops. Uh-oh. So I want to check in about bar chords. How does it feel with barring on that 5th fret? Is it okay? Okay. And what about going up, where are we over here? Going up to the 7th fret to make your E minor 7 from the 5th fret to the 7th. Okay. That can take a bit of work sometimes. The glory of this right now is if you need to lay your pointer finger or your middle finger over top of your barring finger, you can do that right now and it's okay. Okay, to help push things down. But I like to work on that technique of not having a finger crease. I can't even do that. Not having a finger crease on top of the strings. That makes a huge difference. Tucking in that elbow, applying pressure as you roll your finger towards the fret. So I'll give you guys just another minute to go through those chords. I always like to have people watch me play and then apply it to a chord chart so you can see what's going on. My cat's so quiet today. Yesterday he was howling and whining and carrying on so much my husband had to come and take him out of the room.
There's a question in the chat,
Oh,
Tina.
Is it fine to use the middle finger instead of index to bar? Donna, if you need to use your middle finger instead of your index to bar, you go for it, lady. It's okay. Yep. Yeah. So the index, what's cooking with the index that makes it tricky? What's going on? Let me know. Oh, it feels kind of weird.
It just doesn't sound as good. Like the sound isn't as even, or when I bar, like you don't get the full vibration. I guess it kind of sticks, if that makes sense.
Oh, it's muted a little bit in some parts, but it doesn't do that with your middle finger?
Not as much. Or maybe can you just like advise on the technique? Is it the crease that's causing that, or?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, I say that, but so I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm going to get really close to the screen so everyone can watch my fingers. Yeah, it's that technique is strange at first, worthwhile to really pick it apart. Okay, so here I am. When I lay down my fingers, my whole technique, there we go. See how the finger crease is not on top of the string? Close by, can be close by. Sometimes people do this to bar. I can't do that because for me, what happens is on this side, the pressure is released. It looks like it's down, but it's not. I need an even pressure. I think stiff as a board, light as a feather. So it could be that the being too close to the finger crease, or it could just be, you know, what works better for your middle finger for now. But I line up like this and then roll my finger in. Keep my thumb opposite my pointer finger to use it as a pivot point. Sometimes, thinking about that, sometimes you'll see the thumb up here when people bar, sometimes down here. Be flexible, work with your hands. What makes sense for your hands makes sense for your hands, right? So I know a lot of people that bar with their middle finger. It will eventually hold you back a little bit in terms of making some bars, but to start, at least it gets you going, right? So, all right, so those chords, everyone feels fairly comfortable with those chords at this point? Don't have to be perfect. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for just comfort. Okay. Now we're going to play the melody. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to share the screen right off the bat. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, you guys, I got to check in on... Okay, everyone's good on YouTube. There we go. Oh, there we go. I couldn't find my I couldn't find my share screen button. It was right behind my my camera. Okay. So Vie En Rose, level 1. We've already played the scale, right? Now look at the next bar where I've got just the last bar of the first line where it's all just threes. The reason why I wrote that was just because of the rhythm that keeps occurring in the melody, and I want us to take a look at that and really be comfortable with it. Okay, so that's right here. Oops, just with all these threes here. No fancy notes, we're just going to play the rhythm. So that rhythm, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Ba, da, 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 da. It's going to keep coming back over and over again. So I want us to let's clap it, okay? And I'm going to say ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, 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 ti. One more time, and I'm going to count it this time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that rhythm, you will find, even though the notes change, you will find that rhythm on almost all the bars on line 2. Right? The first 3 bars of line 2, take a look at it and see how that rhythm is the same. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And however slow you play it to play these notes, doesn't matter. Just keep that rhythm in mind. And line 3, first 3 bars, it's the same rhythm. So if you get confident with that rhythm, it's going to make it so much easier for you to express yourself musically with this song. Same thing with line 3. It's amazing. It's a rhythmic motif. It's a theme, rhythmic theme that occurs throughout the song, even though the melody changes. Now I'm just going to scroll down a tiny bit here. There. The only place where the rhythm changes, really, is on the line where we've got our D minor 7, D minor 7, D minor 7 written out here. Okay, do you see where I've highlighted? That's line 5 there. It's the only place where the rhythm changes. And we'll deal with that rhythm when we get there. I want us to make sure we're comfortable with the notes up here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now you guys can see me a bit, right? It's just a small screen, but you can see me. Okay, I'm going to go through and play the first 3 lines of this song where we've got that rhythm that keeps occurring. And it's not going to be fast, and I'll play through it a few times, and I'm just going to use my thumb. Okay, we're not going to do anything super fancy. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2. Hear that rhythm? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Next line, 1 and 2 and ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, 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 ti. Did you guys see what I did there? You're watching my hands? All I did was where it has the first fret there, I smushed my finger across the frets and I actually barred there. and then I smushed it up to the 2nd fret here. I want you guys to take a look at what I do there, because I make it look all fancy. It's not, it's a smush. It's not even really, so don't even think of it as a bar there, think of it as a smush. All right, watch me play. I'll get good and close here. 1 and 2 and smushy, smushy, open, 3, and then I carry on. 1 and 2 and I'm going to stop there because I wanted to play through it so you could hear that rhythm. Okay, so it's a rhythm that carries on over and over again. I do use that barring technique. You like that, Donna? It's so much fun to play this song. I've been playing it on my classical guitar, just having fun with it. The only time where I'm not playing the song as just placing single notes is where I do that barring on line 3. And you do not have to do that. Okay, you can move around using one finger at a time if you want there. Okay, it's just the way I tend to play it. That's all. So I point that out for 2 reasons. I want you guys to know what technique I use and how handy barring can be once you're confident with it, and how there's different ways to play a song. Okay, you don't have to play it the same way as me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the first line of the song. I'll scroll up a little bit more. So just the top line that you see, and I'm going to play it nice and slow now because I wanted to kind of burn through it so you guys could hear it. If you have a low 4-tuned ukulele, a low G, then the 4th fret note that I've highlighted on that 3rd bar sounds nice, fits into the melody. If you have a high 4-tuned ukulele, that 4th fret note will sound a little funny. What I would recommend you do is instead of playing that 4th fret, you may want to try doing something like playing the 2nd fret of string 3. It changes the melody slightly, but it fits into the harmony of the song still. Okay, so again, that's subbing out fret 4, string 4, for fret 2, string 3. We'll see 1 and 2 and 3 and yeah, I think that's probably the best option there. Now I'm going to play that first line. I'm like deadly serious today, you guys. Oh my gosh. All right, I'll play through that first line nice and slow. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and oh 3, oh 3, next bar 1 and 2 and 3 and next bar 1 and 2 and 3, whichever note you need to play there. Oh 2, last bar 1 and 2 and 2nd fret there 3 and 4 and okay. How did that feel? Was that too fast? Was it okay? No? Okay, let's do the next line. 3 and I'm using my baby finger on the 5th fret. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and next bar 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop there. Take a look at how my fingers went when I played the 1 2 2. Do you guys recognize that chord shape? It's just a G7. Yeah, so I just want to point that out as I go, because if you hold down your fingers as you go here, you wind up, I'm trying to click on it, but there. Okay, so that 2nd bar of the 2nd line, the last three notes, 1, 2, 2. If you leave them down after you play them, you create this beautiful lush sound. Okay, so I'm going to start that bar again. Here we go. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and next bar 1 and 2 and whooshing 1 1 2 1 open third fret. So there's some techniques in there that you can use if you want. That's where, like, I hold down my fingers, I think about that chord shape if I can, and if I'm not ready, then I don't worry about it, and that's okay. Barring if you can here, or alternatively, do you see how I used different fingers? Like that first fret there, I used one finger, and then a different finger on the first fret on the third string. Okay, and then I just slid up. You can hop, but if you can use different fingers, it helps the notes to ring out a little bit. It makes it a little bit more lush sounding and echoes the harmony of the song, if you can do that. So that's just a different thing you can do in there. Okay. Let's carry on to the third line now, and you'll find the third line, oh, it's so much like the first line. Here we go. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and next bar 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and next bar 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and third fret in the first string and 2. Isn't that beautiful? Sonia, you did vibrato. I saw your finger do vibrato. Congratulations. It's so awesome. All right, so now I'm going to play those 3 lines again, and I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to count all the way through. Okay, here we go. So back to the beginning there, those first 3 lines. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 next line with the 5th fret. 5 3 2 0 1 3 2 0 3 1 2 2 0 3 1 1 2 2 0 3. Next line, here we go. Third line. 3 2 0 3 0 3 2 0 3 0 0 2 0 3 0 0 0 3. Ready for the first string 3? Vibrato, yes! That's awesome. Okay, vibrato. If you're not sure about that, I'll stop sharing for a minute so we can look at that. I just do this. See, I'm just rolling my finger back and forth. I don't use my first finger very often for it because I feel like I don't have the control for some reason. I like my middle finger, third finger, whichever, I don't know why the first finger doesn't really work for me. It does kind of, but it feels slippery. Weird, hey? That's where our hands are all a little different. All right, so now we're going to move up to, I'll share the screen again. We're going to be up in the 5th position. Can anybody tell me what the 5th position means? I'll have a sip of coffee while I wait and see if anyone remembers.
It starts in the 5th fret?
Yeah, right on. Cheers, everyone. You got it going on. All right. Now what I want to do is I'm going to show you before I bring up that music again. So I've got my finger on that 5th fret and I reach over to the 8th fret on the 2nd string. So it's like this. 1 and 2 and 3. And you don't have to use your baby finger if you don't feel comfortable. You can go 5, 5, 3rd finger. Okay. So just try that for a minute there because that keeps coming back. 5, 5, 8, 5. The other one we're going to get is 5, 5, 8, 3. Now the reason why, like this, it's the same note, but it's just because of the chord shapes we've got coming. 5, 5, 8, 3. We're going to have a C down there. So I'm going to share that again so that you can see that. So that you can see it. All we're doing is talking about C, C, C. All right, so now we're down here on this line here with all the D minor 7 chord names written out. Normally, if you were playing like a regular chord chart, you would only have the D minor 7 written out one time, right? And it would stay like that until your chord changes. I've written it out like this because of the next level with the chord melody arrangement that we'll be doing so that you're aware of the chord shapes we'll be using. All right, so here we are down here, 5, 5, 8, 5. And then if you're comfortable with reading music, you'll see a note that doesn't have any fret number underneath it. If you're not sure about that, that's okay. That's a tied note. So it's this, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and da, 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 da. T, 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 ta, T, T. But sometimes, like we've worked on the rhythm on the first part and everyone seemed pretty confident with that. I'm going to play this first phrase. So the first 2 bars of that line. Okay, and it's going to sound like this. I'll call it the fret numbers as I play it. 5, 5, 8, 5. 5, 8, 5, 5, 8, 3. Okay, so T, 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 ta. T, 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 ta. Or I'm doing all the different rhythms to think about it. So something will connect with you rhythm-wise. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. That 3, 4 where I'm counting but not playing is right after that 3rd fret note on the 1st string. It's going to ring out. Okay, so I'm going to play that now a little bit slower, and I'm going to go through that whole line. I'm going to call out the fret numbers first, and then I'm going to go back and do it again, and I'll do the counting. Okay, here we go on that line. 1 and 2 and ready, go. 5, 5, 8, 5. 5, 8, 5, 5, 8, 3. Back up to the 5th fret. 5, 5, 8, 5. 5, 8, 5. 5, 8, 7, 5. Let's do it again. Okay. Is it too fast? You guys want me to go a little slower? No, it's okay. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to do it again, but I'll do the 1 and 2 and counting. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. it's so pretty. And then we know that last line. Let's play it. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and oh, 3, oh, 2, 3. I slow right down at the end of that. Let me play that line again for you. Like a clock winding down. Right on. Ah! Okay, now I feel like we've gotten really to know this melody. Now I'm going to play it all the way through, and I'm not going to say anything. And I'm going to try to keep myself just at a nice chill, romantic temperature maybe too. I don't know. But first, some coffee. Drinking out of my cat mug. So good. So we've got a pond in our yard. Donna saw the hole where the pond was going to be. The pond is full now, and I've got 24 goldfish in there, and my cats are terrified of the pond. They won't go anywhere near it. Nico, the whiny baby cat that was featured online yesterday, he stucks himself really close to my legs and kind of peeks around my leg, and he's not sure about the fish, he's not sure about the stream, nothing, which I'm going to say is good. It keeps him away from the fish, so I guess that's good. I just was very surprised that he was not interested in the fish. I'm sure that will change. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. The whole melody now. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Next line 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And next line. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 5th position and go. And 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 7th fret, 5th fret, last line, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and oh, 3, slowing down, oh, 2, 3. All right, I'm going to stop sharing that. Just know that it's all on my website at justinasmusic.ca. Next up, we've got 10 minutes left. We're going to start turning it into a chord melody next, with all the chords you guys learned at the beginning. As I tint my fingers like a supervillain. Okay, let's do this. Da, 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 da. Now it's going to look a little bit hairy, but you'll be surprised at what you can play. Just give your fingers a little prep. Right? Yeah, stretch them. Yeah, actually, you know what? Rosemary, I saw you stretching your hands down. I'm going to do that same thing. Oh, gosh, that feels good. So the whole chord chart that I gave you, that hand-drawn chord chart, you can pretty much put each chord that I've given you at the beginning of each bar. I think I've lined it up right. There's just one boo-boo that I've got to tell you about. There's always something, right? So this will be the second boo-boo, I guess, from me putting this stuff up. And I will give you my great confession right away once I put it up. Okay, now, way down on line 4, when I got you guys to go through chords, I got you to play D minor 7 and down to C, but it's not even written in here. It's because I forgot to put it in. So line 4, bar 2, where we go to that 3rd fret note right there. That's supposed to have a C chord with it. So if you're looking at bar numbers, it's bar 14. Now what I've done with this one is at the beginning of each bar, I've just made a simple chord melody. And each of the chords that we did way back at the beginning is written, almost all of them. I didn't do the G7 with the asterisks on line 2 because, I mean, we talked about different voicings. So it depends on what works for you. So that's one where you're going to want to write it in yourself or make some notes for yourself on that. Now, when I got down to line 4, I didn't do the full 5th fret bar chord. What I did was I just wrote in a couple of 5s. You can decide how far you're comfortable going. Same thing at the end of that 4th line there where I've got D minor 7 and I've got 2 5s. If you just follow line 4, bar 4, where it says D minor 7, I've got 2 5s and then 5 8 and then 2 7s. That's at E minor 7 up on the 7th fret. Okay. And then the G7, I should have put an asterisk next to it, I would think, because of the fact that it's using that 5th fret. So I'm going to sit and I'm going to go through and play this. And then play along with me, play the melody, work in strum on that first bar or first beat, if you can, of the different chords. We'll just go nice and slow, okay? 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and C chord, and 2, and now our notes, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, C major 7, that's with the 2nd fret, and 2, and notes 3, 0, 0, 2, now C6, so I'm right here with all the strings open, okay, and 2, 3, 0, 4th fret on the 4th string, or 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 0, 2, now the end of that line, D minor / G, looks like your G7 without the ring finger, 1, and 2, and now your regular G chord, so that's just 0, 2, 3, 2, and 2, and now the next line, I just put the 5th fret on the 1st string for the melody and the 4th string open. Try it out, just do a pinch there, and 2, 3, 2, 0, 1, 3. So it's a good way to start it, right? If you feel like adding more, then you remember you can do that big fancy stretch if you want. 5, 1, 2, open if you can make it, right? Or looks like a G7. Frets are 0, 5th fret on the 3rd string, then 3 on the 2, 5 on the 1. That'll get you there too. Whatever works for you, okay? It's a buffet of chord choices there. I'll carry on with the notes. 3, 2, 0, 1, 3, and now I'm at my G7. 1 and 2, 0, 3, 1, 2, 2, D minor / G, looks like your G7 without the ring finger. 3, mush your finger, do a fancy mushy squishy bar if you want, or single notes, 1, 1, 2, 2, A minor 7, 2, and now the 3rd fret. Okay, next line, back to your C, and 2, and 0, 3, 0, 3, C major 7, so that's C on the 2nd fret there. 0, 3, 0, 0, 2, C6, all open. 3, 0, 0, 0, 3, special F, so F. Oh, hi, Shelly. My sister's here. F with the 3rd fret on the 1st string. Everyone get that, special F? You're right on. Okay, now up to that 5th fret. Okay, so we can bar, we can play single notes, we can just do the 2 5s. I'm going to do the 2 5s to start. So I'm just going to bar across 2 strings. 5, 5, 8, 5. Let it ring out. 5, 8, and again with the 2 5s. 5, 5, 8. Now I'm going to go down and make a C chord instead of just playing that 3rd fret by itself. I'm going to hit the C chord there. Then I'm going back up to my 5th position because now I'm here. Bar on the 5. 5, 5, 8, 5. Let it ring out. 5, 8, and then next bar, D minor 7 again with the 2 5s. Shift your fingers up to that 7th fret. And choice is yours for that G7 as long as you hit that 5th fret. I'm going whole hog here with my fancy crazy chord. Last line, back on the C. Ready, everyone, in the C? C, 2, O, 3, O, 3, C major 7. O, 3, O, O, 2, C6. 3rd fret on that 2nd string. D minor / G, looks like a G7 without your ring finger. And then G7. And then C. Now I'm going to sit and I'm going to play that whole shebang for you guys, okay? So it'll be a read-along adventure, and then I'll stop sharing so you have more of a close-up of my fingers, okay? 2, 3. Oops. Sorry, you guys. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing that. My cat waited. He's pushing at the door. So let me let my kitty in, and then I'll play this again so you guys have more of a close-up of my fingers here. Okay, Nico, hang on. Come on. Yeah, I know. Are you going to come say hi now? My sister scared him. Yeah, just stay by mommy. It's okay now. Okay, he's so scared of fish, scared of my sister. Brave kitty. All right, I'm going to play this again now. And let me just take a peek. Okay, everyone's okay over here. I do add more. Like, this is my level 2 version of Vie En Rose. I add more stuff in, but this is, I always add more stuff in, right? All right, now I'm going to get all comfy here. 3 and 4. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Did someone have a question?
I did.
Yeah.
Line 4, when you going from the 5, 5, and then the 8, how do you get to the 2 7s? What are the fingering there? Are you going to go to the?
Oh, yeah. You know what I do? Hang on, my cat is chinning my. Nico, you have to chin something besides the camera. I know. There we go. So when I'm going there, I've got my 5s, and then I just shift my pointer finger right up.
You go right to the bar 7th.
Yeah.
7th
Yeah.
bar.
And if I'm doing the partial bar, same thing. I hit my 5 and 5, and I just slide right up.
Just slide up the bar.
Yep. Yeah. Now, doing a small bar like this with the 2 fingers is a good confidence builder if you're new to barring,
Sure.
because you don't get that finger crease involved at all. And you can
Yeah.
start building your technique. That's why I like doing that to start. And then when you're ready, you add in another finger and then another finger. So that's what I do. I just shift my pointer finger right up. All right, so I'm gonna play again. And
Can I ask you what the 5 and 1 is, please? That's confusing me. At the 1, 2, 3, the fourth line, the last G7, 5 and 1.
That's my crazy 5 and 1. That's my crazy G7, stretchy, super stretchy.
Oh,
5 and 1.
yeah.
Yep. Right from that chord chart. But you don't have to do the 1. Okay, that's where you guys have choices there. Other options? Oops. Other options would be 5 and 3. Okay. 5, and then under that 3, and then under that 5. Or like line 2, bar 1, you could do 5 and open. So yeah, I like that stretch. I like weird voicings of chords. So I do this. 5, 1, 2, open is what I like to do there. I think sometimes I just do it to see what sort of voicings I can do. Your cat doesn't like uke playing and takes off. Oh, Rosemary, every cat's a critic. Hey, yeah. All right, I'm gonna get myself all comfy so you won't see my, no, I better hold it up. Okay, here we go. I'm doing pull-offs in there. Hear them? Oh, pardon me. So that's with some extra little bits in there, right? Things that we have done in Somewhere Over the Rainbow can be directly applied to La Vie En Rose. Okay, so spots like line 3, bar 4 with the F, a little special F, instead of just letting it ring out when you're ready. 2, 3, 4 is one option, right? Or maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and then moving on, right? It's up to you. I'm crazy with the pull-offs too, but I try to make it so that it fits with the flow of the song. No, I don't put in the pull-offs just to put them in. I think about the melody. So yeah. But that's extra. Just play it as written, and then when you feel comfortable, play it the way you want to play it, right? Add stuff to it, make it your own. So, any other questions? You guys have got a lot of homework. Yes,
Not a
Mom?
question, but I did figure out how to turn that JPEG into a PDF and printed it off.
Oh, right on. Did you
That's
save it
a
as a
huge-
PDF? Did you
That's
export
a
it?
huge step for me to figure out how to do that. I couldn't tell you now how it happened, but I did.
Shirley, I'm super proud of you. You know what? Let's hear it for all the technological leaps we have made
Oh,
since the pandemic, right? Cheers to us, man. Oh yeah. Norma, you had a question?
I'm just thinking about what she said. Can I print this song off while we're doing our lesson and not get lost somewhere?
I don't know.
Did Shirley print that off while the lesson was happening?
Yes, but I have two iPads, a big one and a little one. So I use the little one to do all my work. And I'm watching the class on the big one. So,
Okay.
but you
I'm
can,
gonna stop streaming on YouTube now. So hang tight, you guys.